I'm an old black man, like, I'm gonna talk fucking crazy. You know, like on that Dick Gregory type of time, you know, like, huh?
I would see you're there now.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell at you like that.
I got scared.
Don't leave me.
I got scared.
Hey, don't leave me. Don't Dilbert me. Don't you Dilbert me, brother.
I'm already a puff of clouds.
Don't you Dilbert me, you son of a bitch. I see it in your eyes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where am I going to go? I ain't where to be.
All right. Because that's because you're a poor white.
Dingy for life.
You're a dingy light, and I'm a poor black. How you doing, you son of a bitch? Dilbert would hate us. If he knew how much, if he saw our bank accounts, he would think we were scum.
I could trick him for a little bit, but yeah, he'd find me out.
No, you guys, he doesn't trust you. He doesn't trust your kind. Yeah, because you guys told on him.
Not me. I didn't snitch. I don't snitch.
You guys told on Dilbert, man. Well, actually, he told on himself. Scott Adams, the creator of Dilbert, a cartoon that, man, come on, man, a comic strip. You know niggas don't read.
It's everyone's white in there.
It's pretty white.
Everyone's in IT.
Yeah. So Dilbert said, the creator said he is done helping the blacks.
So I think it makes no sense whatsoever as a white citizen of America to try to help black citizens anymore. And so I'm gonna back off from being helpful to black America because it doesn't seem like it pays off.
And he says some other choice words about the blacks.
And I'm also really sick of seeing video after video of black Americans beating up non-black citizens. But every damn day I look on social media and there's some black person beating the shit out of some white person.
He jumped out the window, man, out of nowhere, and I'm laughing because I'm fucked up. That's funny to me. Racism like that. That's kind of, because everything is blanket under racism. You're like, yo, this guy's racist. That's what everyone tweeted.
Yeah.
I watched the video, and he definitely, if he was auditioning for a kind of a racist dude, he would have got the role. Or a guy who says racist things.
Right.
I'll be serious about it. That's, if you listen and you go, just the words he said, you go, whoa. You don't. So you're telling other whites to move away from blacks. That I would think that's in the. And then he gets canceled. And I start thinking that's odd that a guy this older white man would just at this time just jump out the window like that. You know, maybe that's not odd. Maybe that's just, super common. But then he started doing interviews. I saw him pop up in an interview with the black Israelite, and I go, wait a minute. Okay, so he's not fucking with niggas, but then he's with the black Jews. Okay, this is fascinating.
Apparently he's done helping black people, but like, who can turn down a good interview? Some good press. Can't turn down good press.
Good press with the black black Israelites.
Some nice lighting, a good backdrop. Hey, I'm in.
Man. Yo, he had something else to say. So that's where the story got interesting to me, was why did he do that? Why did he say that? And why do I give a shit? I don't, but I put it on my Instagram.
Yeah.
Cause the low road giveth.
Did you even know who this guy was, Scott Adams, before this story?
You bet your patootie I didn't. You bet your
I'm not surprised.
Tits from Tuesday, I didn't know who this son of a bitch was, but I know who he is now.
Yeah.
So I said, what does this guy have to say? And then he's done an interview with Cuomo too, and he said, man, I said it that way for a reason, because I knew that would make you niggas listen. He kept it. So that's what made this crazy, is that you don't get a lot of honest, if you want to call it racism, honest racism. where the guy, you get apologies,
Right.
you don't just get a guy to go, hey man, to me, I'd much rather deal with a person that is upfront with how they feel about,
Here are my cards.
here are my cards. And then if they're if they go, well, you got some more to say, especially if it's not a guy who was employing black people.
Especially if it's not a guy. Okay.
If it's not a guy or a politician, someone who's supposed to be looking out for the interests of everyone. Not everyone has to do that. That's not a fucking requirement for any human to do. Is to give a shit about another human. Let's 100%. Just say it on the low level.
I agree with that for sure.
Okay, so that's one of his. That's one for Dilbert.
I'll write that down.
Let
me get that in there. I'll get a board going.
I got notes, man.
I'll get a pie graph.
Oh my god. Yeah, right now I felt like, I shouldn't be laughing at this, and then I put it on Instagram, and what do you know? All the black people said, yo, I don't see the problem with what he said. And I said, you niggas, man. Wow. Think you know some people. So the black people agree with him.
Right.
Yeah, and then if you really want to dig into it, you're like, wow, man. I'll get into my opinion right after. Yeah, we'll wrap this up. So there's not a lot of meat on this bone, but he said that for a reason.
Right.
And he wanted people to get the conversation started. So he's a party starter. He's a conversation starter.
I feel like this is a conversation starter that's directed almost towards me now. Like, everyone's saying, the black people are saying, don't bother with it. I think by then I gotta leave. I gotta go. I gotta take off. We're done.
Well, Dilbert,
Dilbert showed me the way.
Yeah, Dilbert showed you the way.
I didn't know. Man. I thought I was here helping black people, and apparently I was just being an idiot.
You know what? Only black people could make you that mad that you would throw in your
right.
ally card. So,
okay.
Yeah, the minute when I push you, because if I push you too hard, you go school shooter. Or lone wolf.
I'm already there.
Yeah. You'd be a great candidate for lone wolf. But I don't want you to put me on your list. So when you're done,
you don't gotta worry about me.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. We started out with 5. Oh my god! Everyone who works with me is on that Dilbert tip, and these are black people and Mexicans. Burrito's not Mexican; he's El Salvadorian, but. Black people, Jamaicans, all the POCs.
Yeah.
And Renee's Mexican. So I wasn't wrong. I was just a little racist.
I don't even know who that was.
That was before you. Yeah, so I think he said it. He said, "Hey, man, who people don't want to live in a crime-ridden area and all of that type of talk." That's what he's kind of. Not backtracking, but going around explaining what he meant by that. I grew up in the suburbs. You grew up in Canada. You grew up outside the city.
Oh yeah, I grew up in no population on the town. Lived on the same road with my family's name. You have to walk a very long ways to see a neighbor.
So were you poor?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know what? We were fun. I had a weird, not weird upbringing, but it was like I grew up in a good neighborhood from 6. All the neighborhoods were better back then, but I didn't grow up in the slums, the hood.
Right.
Yeah, that's how I grew up. But then when I would go to Sacramento, my cousins and grandma stayed in, I guess, the projects there. And let me tell you something about these poor neighborhoods. Scotty boy, Dilbert, they're fun as hell. That's where all the culture is. Rich neighborhoods are boring as hell.
Oh yeah, the rich neighborhoods
suck. The action and the good times are in the slums.
Oh yeah.
Any country, anytime. The slums are. like I lived in Inglewood, and my grandma lived in the South Sac. That's what, and it was a blast. We had so much fun. You know, as an adult, would I want to live there? Not a chance.
No.
So I, you know, so when I think about Dilbert and Scott, it's like, you know, I kind of feel like that if I met him, I feel like a Willem Dafoe in Spider-Man. You know what I mean? When he was like, I'm a bit of a scientist myself. Remember, have you seen that? I'll be like, right? I'll be like, I'm a bit of a racist myself. You know, I too don't want to live around the poor whites.
But that's not racism. That's just good old-fashioned bigotry.
Bingo bango.
It's a very important difference.
There's a big difference, man. There's levels to this racist shit. There's levels to this shit.
Now I'm just out here trying to win the game.
Now we're cooking.
I told you you needed a drink.
I drank this after. Don't put this on the booze.
All right.
That
fine.
came from me. Me, goddamn.